All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to deconstruct what is really a masterclass in crisis communication. We're looking at the website for Todd A. Kawecki, who is a criminal defense and DUI lawyer down in Port St. Lucie, Florida. We are going to pull apart piece by piece exactly how Kawecki Law speaks to people in what might be the most stressful moment of their entire lives. So imagine this, the flashing lights, that sinking feeling in your gut, the confusion, the fear. Kawecki Law's website, it doesn't start with a boring list of services. No, it starts right here with this question. It's made to immediately tap into that emotional state of someone who's just been arrested on Florida's Treasure Coast. It puts you right inside that moment of crisis. And then boom, this is the very next thing you see, pulled right off the homepage. Time is not on your side. Let's be real, that's not just some catchy tagline. It is a strategic weapon. It creates instant, undeniable urgency, making you understand that every single second you wait, the stakes just get higher and higher. All of this urgency and fear, it defines the first part of the whole narrative they're building. They call it a frightening moment, and it's built completely around acknowledging and just validating that state of panic a person is in. You know, this website isn't just some pamphlet. You have to see it for what it is. A lifeline. It's been precision engineered to connect with a person who is scared, who is facing truly life-altering consequences. So let's get into it and break down exactly how it manages to do that. Okay, so once they've hooked you with that raw emotion, they start to define the actual problem. This next part, the stakes in St. Lucie, this is where that abstract fear becomes very, very real with concrete legal challenges. And here they are. These are the legal battlegrounds they talk about. You see the big, broad areas like felonies and drug crimes, but the real focus, it's pretty clear: DUI defense. And by constantly tying these services back to Port St. Lucie, Todd Kawecki isn't just trying to be a general lawyer. He's branding himself as the local specialist for these exact problems. So after setting up this high-stakes problem, the website makes a hard pivot right to the solution. It doesn't just promise help. It actually outlines a strategy for defense, and it's all designed to make an overwhelming situation feel clear and, believe it or not, manageable. This is how they try to demystify the whole legal mess. It's laid out as a simple 3-step journey. Step 1, a free case review. That's smart, isn't it? It lowers the barrier to just making a call. Step 2, devise a defense strategy. That promises a customized plan just for you. And then step 3, aim for reduced or dismissed charges. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. That's the hope they're selling. It turns total chaos into a structured plan. Now check this out. Tucked away in a client testimonial is this absolute gem of a selling point: former prosecutor experience. It's not just listed as a fact. It's framed as this huge strategic advantage. The implication is crystal clear. This lawyer knows the other side's playbook. And for someone in trouble, that suggests an invaluable, an almost unfair insider's edge. And that insider's edge idea, it leads us right to the emotional core of the whole pitch: the client experience. This is where Kawecki Law basically stops telling you what they do and starts showing you the results through the words of the very people they've helped. I mean, listen to this quote from a client in Port St. Lucie. "I can proudly say I am not a convicted felon, and he was able to get me a deal that saved my future." Think about that. It's not about legal jargon. It's not about motions filed. It's about a life-changing outcome. What the firm is really selling here is a narrative of salvation, a do-over. And that might be the most powerful message you could possibly hear in that situation. As you look at the other testimonials, you start to see a very clear pattern. 3 themes over and over: knowledgeable, fast, always available. This is no accident. The messaging is built to directly counter the biggest anxieties a potential client has. You know, does my lawyer know what they're doing? Will they act now? And can I reach them when I'm panicking? The testimonials are all curated to answer with a loud yes to all 3. Okay, so you've got the problem, the strategy, and the proof from other clients all established. Now the website moves to the final, crucial step: how to get help.
This is the call to action, and the entire goal here is to make it as easy and frictionless as possible.
The very first, most obvious action they want you to take is this: 100% free consultation. Taking the cost out of the equation is everything. It removes that huge mental block to making that critical first phone call. The message is pretty simple. You have nothing to lose by just finding out what your options are. And this table here, it shows their physical locations. Now, while there are a few offices, everything we've looked at today, from the messaging to the testimonials, it all points back to the Treasure Coast, and specifically to this main office in Port St. Lucie. This just reinforces their whole identity as true local experts, not some faceless corporation. For anyone searching for a Port St. Lucie criminal defense attorney, the message is, we are right here with you.
The entire communication strategy that we've just deconstructed, it's all built to answer this one final question. And the website's implicit answer is that the most critical first step you can take is immediate, informed action with a local specialist. It leaves the visitor with a really powerful, lingering thought. In your absolute most frightening moment, the very first decision you make could be the one that defines your entire future. And that is a masterclass in messaging for a crisis.